Yes, it is I, the one who committed suicide. Don't be surprised that I'm speaking to you. I simply wanted you to share my feelings, to remove the dark cloud from your eyes, a cloud that no one ever lifted from mine. They left me alone to suffer through life, with no support, no companion to guide me, until I decided to end my life. But oh, how I wish I hadn't done it, hadn't committed that great sin, and hadn't associated anything with my Creator. I come from a middle-class family. I wouldn't say I was deprived or impoverished. I'm an educated young man, but I was lonely and miserable, wondering why I was created and why I came into this world. I felt bored with life. I had no one to listen to me. My father worked all day, returning home at night to rest, and my mother did the same, coming home exhausted to do her household chores before finally falling asleep from fatigue. I was alone, with no one to talk to, no one to confide in. You might ask, what was my situation? I felt tired, lonely, and exhausted from the pressure of studying and responsibility. I never thought differently until today, after I've left this world. I never considered that my father and mother worked hard to provide a decent life for me and my sister so we wouldn't need anyone. How much my father and mother toiled to pay for my private lessons so I could get into a top university. I didn't want that university. They don't understand me. They want the best for me, I know, but unfortunately, they plunged me into an internal struggle, with myself, my feelings, my mind, and my heart. My emotions piled up. My pressures increased, and my depression deepened. I had always wanted to be a painter. I've loved drawing since I was little. But they wouldn't let me into the Faculty of Fine Arts, so I went to the college they wanted. My father said that day, "Did I spend all that money on you just so you could go to art school?" Even my mother didn't consider my feelings and refused to let me attend the college I loved. I had to agree, submitting to them while I was dying inside every day. I hate the sight of blood. I can't bear to look at it. What was my fault if I excelled in my studies? Was this my fate? I remained silent, not saying a word, and I agreed. My anger and hatred for everyone intensified. I was like the dead among them, alive only in body. I didn't understand that out of love, they wanted the best for me, a brighter future for my life. But what about me? Even when I told them about my love for my childhood friend, the love of my life, Yara, who had played with me since we were children, went to classes together, and dreamed together, my mother and father refused, saying I wouldn't marry anyone but a girl who was my intellectual and cultural match. But a college graduate wasn't suitable for me and my prestigious position in society. They planned everything for me and left me no choice. Their decision to distance myself from the girl was final. My mother went to Yar.
From birth, Ashjan was filled with sadness and pain, as if God had bestowed upon her a part of her name, reflecting her miserable life. At her birth, her mother suffered a severe shock and illness, falling into a coma for months upon learning she was a girl. But what was Ashjan's fault that God created her a girl and not a boy? She lived a very harsh life of humiliation and degradation, held accountable for something she had no part in. What was her fault in being chosen for her gender? I loved a married man and became his second wife, a true story. She had been treated harshly since childhood, witnessing discrimination and mistreatment compared to her younger sisters. She couldn't understand why she was being treated that way. Years later, she reached puberty and married at the young age of 17. She wanted to escape the hell of her life and her family's cruelty, but little did she know she was entering an even worse and more horrific hell. Her husband was cruel and harsh in his treatment of her. She didn't conceive until after years of suffering and visits to doctors, even though there was no medical reason preventing her from getting pregnant. Her mother-in-law and her husband constantly humiliated her for the delay, as if she were the cause of the problem. She was the reason for the delay. I loved you madly, a very sad and touching story. But in the end, she gave birth, but it was a girl. When she learned the baby's gender, she cried out in anguish, "I can't take it anymore. I'm leaving." From the moment she was born into this vast world, she was ostracized and hated by everyone. Everyone had been expecting a boy, not a girl. The mother fell ill with heartbreak upon seeing her, and even her husband had married another woman. He wanted a son, not a calamity, as he had claimed. She knew this would be her inevitable fate. She had lived a tormented childhood, filled with cruelty and deprivation, with a mother who hated her and wished for her death, and a father who cared for no one and didn't even remember her name. He was preoccupied with his son, whom he had with his second wife. "I loved you truly and killed you with a conscience." Here, she looked at her infant daughter sadly and didn't speak, but smiled silently. She knew exactly what she had to do. She wouldn't let her daughter suffer as she had throughout her life. So, under cover of night, she took her baby and fled, escaping her husband and her life. Everyone kept searching for her, but no one knew where she had disappeared with the baby. No one knew her whereabouts or path. Did she die? Did she commit suicide? Did she live? Who knows but God? Everyone only knows that she's gone. I will leave far away, you cannot stop me. I will live alone, you will not know me. I will chart my own course. I will forget my wounds. I will cross my boundaries. I will kill my pain. I will flee far away, you cannot keep me away. I am the one who fled, so do not ask me. I will.